Hello, I am Louise Ann. I am a motivational speaker and a female empowerment coach, and I specialise in helping women who have experienced domestic abuse and toxic relationships. Now, I'm doing this introduction video on EFT tapping. This is just a brief overview of what tapping is and how it might be able to help you. However, if you are already aware about tapping, if you've done it before, you can always go on to other videos that I've created, or you can watch this video and see if you pick up anything new. So, EFT tapping is based on the philosophies about acupuncture and acupressure. Words are failing me today. Acupuncture and acupressure. And so it's based on that Chinese medicine aspect of energy flowing throughout the body and you having meridian points around the body. And what tapping does, tapping is about using your 3 fingers, or if you're only going to use 2, use those 2 because you want to use the tip of the middle finger. But it is about tapping at different points on the body in order to shift the energy and help clear any blockages that may have arisen for whatever reason. So sometimes we build and we create blockages in our energy because of trauma that we've experienced, or limiting beliefs or thought patterns, all of this kind of thing. But we can create energy blockages within our body. And tapping is a way of actually helping alleviate that and get the energy flowing and moving and shifting so that we can clear the thoughts, the limiting beliefs, and we can actually start to really enhance our lives. So, focusing on that, there are a couple of different ways of going through the tapping. So you've kind of got a longer routine, or you've got a shorter routine. And there isn't any hard and fast rule. The energy will flow differently. So I experience a lot of yawning. Some people will burp or belch, and other people will just start getting a fluctuation in temperature, so they start feeling warmer. I know there are some people that, you know, they start to get a tingly feeling, or they get goosebumps. So it is all just, it's dependent on you and the way that your body is processing the energy that it is shifting. The longer routine both routines start the same. So when you are doing tapping, what you want to do is you want to focus on one thing that you are trying to shift or trying to change your thoughts or feelings on. This could be a feeling, this could be something that you desire to call into your life, and you want to focus on it. And tapping on the karate chop side of your hand. If you're going to do a karate chop, that would be the part that you would aim to hit, apparently. That's just what I know it as. I don't do karate. But tap on there and start to think about that feeling, start to tune into it, and start to allow your mind and start to notice what feels different in your body when you're focusing on that mind, focusing your mind on that thought pattern, or if you are focusing your mind on the thing that you want. Like, what do you feel? Do you feel a tightness in the chest, or do you feel slightly tense in the shoulders? Is there any form of discomfort elsewhere in your body that, you know, only really happens when you start calling up those thoughts or those ideas? And so you start to tune into it and you become aware of that. And then you move through the tapping points. So as you're tapping on this side of hand, you start to recite statements, even though, and then whatever negative feeling you have, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. So say that I'm struggling to get up in the morning. So even though I'm struggling to get up in the morning, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I'm struggling to get up in the morning, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I'm struggling to get up in the morning, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. So you go through it 3 times so that you can really tune into that feeling. And what you want to declare is that even though these negative things or these negative thought patterns, whatever else are happening in your life, you still deeply and completely love, honor, and accept yourself, because you want to be doing this and you want to be doing all of your healing work from a place of love and acceptance of yourself, not from a place of I reject these parts of me and I don't want to have anything to do with them. So it is about encompassing all different parts of yourself, even the parts that you're not exactly proud of or that you don't exactly want to praise, and saying, I love and accept myself. I deeply love and accept myself. You want to make it something that you are declaring that even though you are trying to shift the energy around these parts of you, you are not rejecting these aspects. So when you've tuned into that and you've said your statement, then you move to the top of the head. Now the top of the head is if you draw a line from the top of the ear across to ear. So say you're wearing a headband, it's where your headband would go across. So behind that ear, and you go across the top. And then if you were going to draw a line from your nose all the way down, all the way to the back of your neck. So if you were going to draw across the top of your skull, ear to ear, nose to neck, where would those two lines meet? And that's the part that you want to tap on. That's the top of the head. So it's not the crown back here, and it's not the forehead here, it's the top of the head. And so when you're tapping there, you start to say the negative ideas, the negative thoughts that are coming up. So going forward with the example that I used before, even though I'm lazy and I stay in bed too late. And then you move on to the next tapping point, which is the inner eyebrow. Now, it doesn't matter what side you do. So all of us will have a preferential hand. But it doesn't matter what side you do. You can do both at the same time if you want. Some people find this more powerful. Other people find it irritating. It depends on you. But so it's the inner eyebrow. And then you say another statement, another part that you're embarrassed about. Even though I don't get up at 5 a.m. and do all of the things that people tell me I have to do to be a success. And then you do outer eye. So this is the point that if you are looking at the screen to try and say, if you are doing a winged eyeliner, it's where your winged eyeliner would be. So outer eye, and you tap there. So even though I didn't exercise this morning and drink green juice, and I feel like I am not as good a person as other people because they managed to do it easily. And then under eye. So this is if you are looking straight forward. So I'll look at the camera. If you are looking straight forward, it's where your pupil would be in the middle of your eye. And then it's under there, and it's just on the socket. So it's not where the eyeball is, it's just kind of like on the bone at the bottom. And you tap there. Even though staying in bed means that I'm a lazy person, then you go underneath the nose. So it's just there between the nose and the top lip. Even though I am not productive and I'm not going to be successful because of it. And then you do between your bottom lip and your chin, just in that little ridge there. Even though I'm lazy for staying in bed. So you can reuse the statement. You can actually say the same thing as well, again and again. So the next one is going to be your collarbone, and there is a hollow just on the inside of your collarbone. So at the end of the collarbone, there is a dip, and it's there. So even though I'm lazy for staying in bed, and then you can do underarm. Now, if you imagine if you're wearing a bra, it would be on the line that your bra would go around. So it's so where your bra strap would be, and then underneath your armpit. I'll move back slightly. So there. So even though I'm lazy for staying in bed. Now the longer version works through the hand as well. So if you want to do a shorter version, you can just go back and return to the part and go back up to the top of the head and return through. I'm just going to show the longer version now at the same time. So the longer version, you tap on the wrist. There, just where you would get your pulse, I think. So even though I am lazy for staying in bed, thumb, and then on this side of the nail, even though I should get up at 5 a.m. Index finger, this side of the nail again, even though I'm lazy for staying in bed. Middle finger, this side of the nail, even though I should get up at 5 a.m. and start work early. Then on the ring finger, you do it on the opposite side of the finger and you do it on this side of the nail, so closer to the little finger. Even though I'm lazy for staying in bed. Little finger, back on the same side as the rest, pointing towards the thumb. Even though I should get up at 5 a.m. and get on with my day, be really productive. And that's what you do for your hand. So you can, that's an optional extra. You don't have to do that. Some people find it better. Some people prefer not to do it. But then when you've done an entire routine of the negative thoughts that you're saying to yourself, those are negative ideas, you can run through that a couple of times. If you find that when you're saying them, you're yawning or you're starting to feel like a shift in your chest or anything else, and you feel like these words need to be got out, so you can say those negative things, then you start the routine again, missing out the side of hand, because that's just to tune into the feeling. You start at the top of the head and you start to give yourself an alternative. And you start, so the way I do it is I choose differently. So I choose not to be mean to myself for staying in bed. I choose to see myself as productive no matter what time I wake up. I choose to know that I was doing what was best for my body. I choose to honor my need for rest. I choose to see that not everybody's definition of success is the same. I choose to see that I can be successful no matter what time I get up in the morning. I choose to honor my own journey. I choose to honor my own body. I choose to be kind to myself. I choose to give myself grace and accept that I did what was right for myself. I choose to know that I am not lazy. I choose to be a success no matter what time I wake up. I choose to know that I am a very hardworking person and I can achieve greatness no matter what. I choose to be kind to myself and praise myself for rest. So when you've done that and you've reframed it and you've chosen a new way of looking at the situation or looking at things, then you can work back through and you can start declaring a new outcome that you want to start feeling. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to feel refreshed and well rested. No matter what time I wake up in the morning, I'm going to feel energized and ready for work. I'm going to be successful no matter what time I wake up in the morning. I am going to be successful no matter what my routine in the morning is. I am not going to allow my morning routine to dictate how I perceive myself. I am not going to allow myself to be influenced by others telling me what I should or shouldn't be doing. I'm going to listen to my own body. I am going to listen to myself. I'm going to do what is right for me, and if that is rest, it is rest. I am going to honor my body and rest when it is needed. I am going to honor my mind and accept that I have done what is right for me. I'm going to praise myself for putting in the work that I put in and resting when I needed to rest. I'm going to allow myself the grace to do this in future and be kind to myself when I do have my rest. I am going to be successful no matter what time I get up in the morning. I am going to be a success. And so you work through. And so as you work through, it is actually clearing those beliefs that you had, that you have to get up at 5 a.m. and be part of the 5 a.m. club, and do all of these things in a morning, and then you work through and clear it. So it's realizing that there are 3 phases. So the first one is acknowledging your feelings and your emotional feelings about it, saying those negative things out loud, choosing another way, and then accepting that there is another way, declaring what that difference is going to be. So that's EFT. Those are the routines when you actually do the tapping on your hand as well, and an example routine of working through the entire process. That can be repeated again and again and again. And that's all it is. So it is free, it is something that you can do at home, and it can create massive, powerful changes. It is up to you whether or not you choose to do it. However, if you are ever going to do it, remember that you are taking responsibility for your own healing. And that is a very powerful thing to do. But it does mean that you need to remain aware of your body and any changes that are happening at that time. If you are experiencing anything really detrimental around your mental health or even your physical health, be aware of it and go and get professional help when needed. Okay? Take care. Stay awesome.